Winstanley, a distinguished fellow at the Atlantic Council, an international affairs think tank, and was also the director for the Arabian Peninsula for the US Department of Defense. Evening to you, Gina.
Good evening.
Let's start with these talks. What are the chances of them actually even happening to begin with, do you think?
I think the chances of them happening are greater than not. We have had statements from the White House. The president told one outlet that the vice president was already on his way, but we're hearing now that he will leave tomorrow with the delegation. Again, with the Special Envoy Woodcoff and the president's son in law. But they've also said, interestingly and importantly, this time that there will be experts accompanying the delegation to support it on the ground, and that additional support will come from Washington. We've also heard from the Iranians that if the vice president shows up, then Speaker Ghalibaf will come to Iran as well. Since Iran is much closer to Pakistan, they can wait and see if the vice president does indeed take off, and they can still make it in time.
Gina, how much of this is about the general unpredictability of negotiations in situations like this and the unpredictability of Donald Trump?
I think a lot more the latter than the former. This is a very unusual way of negotiating. The president, with his statements that at this point lack credibility. So no one knows whether to believe things are going well behind the scenes or whether the president intends to order bombing, in the next couple of days. The three things that they're likely to talk about start with extending the ceasefire, because it's supposed to be up on Wednesday, as you mentioned. So that's something that they could get to and get agreement on. The second thing, of course, is the Strait of Hormuz and finding that sweet spot that allows, as the president said, open to all. Now, that definition may be different between what the United States thinks is fully open and what the Iranians characterize as fully open, and that needs to be negotiated. But it's entirely possible to get there.
It's entirely possible, you think? Because I guess the one thing is that this is proving a very powerful negotiating tool and tool of conflict, isn't it? Shutting the Strait of Hormuz, one that's probably taken everybody by surprise, including Iran, and one which isn't insurmountable, but is certainly incredibly difficult for the Americans to deal with.
It is. And although the president said it was a surprise that they would close the strait, that is because he does not have Iran experts in his lead delegation leading the talks, people who have experience negotiating with Iran or experience in the region. He's sending his friends and relatives to go and negotiate this, and loyalists who advised him on even starting the war. So that shutting the strait was not a surprise. Getting it open again is imperative, not only for the Iranians who are losing hundreds of millions of dollars a day, but for the United States and the global economy. And the president knows this, which is why he's saying the vice president will return.
The president has been talking about bombing power plants again. Is that a genuine threat?
It certainly, he's saying it, but the U.S. military knows very well the foundation and the confinement of international law, the law of armed conflict. And it is highly unlikely that they would carry out orders that would clearly be against either of these two laws or be designated as war crimes. Highly unlikely. I can't imagine it.
And finally, what are the realistic chances, do you think, of this deadline being extended on Wednesday?
I believe there's a good chance the deadline will be extended. Both sides need it. Iran needs it and the United States needs it. These negotiations could never be completed in one round. The technical aspects are far too complex. You need lawyers. You need experts. You need people who understand international law and the technical aspects to determine what needs to be in place to verify the agreement agreement in the end. So they need more time. The United States needs more time. Iran needs more time.
Okay, Gina, always great to get your perspective on things. I have no doubt we'll talk a lot more about this in the
Indeed.
future.
My
Take care.
pleasure.
That's Gina Abercrombie-Winstanley there on the programme.